Ever wondered who'd win in a battle between 100 ordinary men and a single 400-pound silverback gorilla? Well, today we're going to find out, and the answer might surprise you. Welcome to what might be the most ridiculous yet scientifically interesting matchup we've ever analyzed: 100 humans versus one gorilla. Now, before you scoff and say, obviously the humans win, or duh, the gorilla smashes them all, let's get methodical about this and break it down by categories. We'll keep score as we go, because what's a showdown without a scoreboard? First, let's understand our competitors. In the blue corner, we have 100 average adult males. Not soldiers, not MMA fighters, just regular guys who occasionally hit the gym and mostly hit the couch, each weighing around 180 pounds with the combined strength of, well, 100 average dudes. In the red corner stands our lone gorilla, a 400-pound silverback with muscles that would make bodybuilders weep with inadequacy. The gorilla possesses roughly the strength of 10 to 20 humans, with a bite force that can crush bamboo like it's celery. That means our gorilla friend could theoretically handle 20 humans at maximum strength. But here's where it gets interesting. Gorillas aren't endurance fighters. They're sprinters, designed for short bursts of terrifying power. A gorilla can lift approximately 1,800 pounds, which means it could literally throw a human across a room like a rag doll. Not exactly a promising start for Team Human, but humans have some serious advantages that we often underestimate. We're the endurance predators of the animal kingdom. Our ancestors didn't outrun prey, they followed it until it collapsed from exhaustion. We're also the only species on this list capable of complex strategic planning. While the gorilla is thinking smash puny humans, the humans could be setting traps, creating weapons, or forming tactical formations. Plus, with 100 bodies, humans could theoretically overwhelm through sheer numbers. Think of it as death by 1,000 paper cuts. Except the paper cuts are actually desperate humans fighting for their lives. Now that we've met our competitors, let's break down this bizarre battle category by category and see who takes home the championship belt in this interspecies showdown. Let's start with raw strength, where the gorilla absolutely dominates. A silverback can bench press roughly 4,000 pounds, while the average man struggles with 135. Even with 100 humans, the coordination required to effectively combine their strength makes this a clear win for our primate powerhouse. Scoreboard. Update: Gorilla 1, humans 0. When it comes to speed and agility, a gorilla can reach speeds of 20 to 25 mph in short bursts and can change direction with surprising nimbleness for its size. Humans top out around 15 mph for elite sprinters, with average folks barely hitting 10 mph. Plus, the gorilla can move in 3 dimensions, swinging and climbing with ease. Even with 100 humans trying to surround it, the gorilla could likely break through any attempted encirclement. Scoreboard. Update: Gorilla 2, humans 0. Next up is durability. And folks, this isn't even close. A gorilla's skin is significantly thicker than human skin, and their muscle density provides natural armor. Their bone density is also superior, making them incredibly difficult to injure without modern weapons. A punch from an average human would barely register to a gorilla, while a single swipe from the ape could incapacitate multiple humans instantly. Even with 100 attackers, causing significant damage would be extremely difficult. Think about it, most of us get a paper cut and need a moment to recover. Meanwhile, gorillas routinely shrug off wounds that would hospitalize people. Scoreboard. Update: Gorilla 3, humans 0. But here's where things get interesting. Endurance. Gorillas are not marathon runners. They're designed for explosive power, not sustained exertion. After about 2 to 3 minutes of intense activity, a gorilla begins to fatigue significantly. Humans, on the other hand, are endurance specialists. We can literally run animals to death. It's called persistence hunting, and it's how our ancestors sometimes caught prey. With 100 humans, they could theoretically tag team the gorilla, cycling fresh attackers while others rest. If the humans could survive the initial onslaught and extend the battle, they'd gain a significant advantage as the gorilla tires. This is where the first point goes to Team Human. Scoreboard update: Gorilla 3, humans 1. Intelligence and adaptability is where humans really shine. While gorillas are far from stupid, with problem-solving abilities comparable to a 3-4-year-old human, they can't match our strategic thinking. The gorilla has one game plan: charge, intimidate, and smash. Meanwhile, 100 humans could coordinate complex attacks, create improvised weapons, set traps, and adapt tactics as the battle progresses. If the humans had even minimal preparation time, this advantage grows exponentially. Scoreboard. Update. Gorilla 3, Humans 2. Let's talk about teamwork. Obviously, this is humanity's specialty. Humans can communicate complex ideas instantly, coordinate movements, and sacrifice individual safety for group success. We evolved as pack hunters, using teamwork to take down prey much larger and stronger than ourselves. Imagine some humans creating a distraction while others attack from behind, or forming human pyramids to attack from above, or even human shields sacrificing themselves so others can land critical hits. The gorilla, meanwhile, is fighting completely alone with no concept of complex battle tactics. Scoreboard. Update. Gorilla 3, Humans 3. Psychological warfare tips heavily in the gorilla's favor. Nothing demoralizes like watching your buddy get torn in half. Gorillas are naturally intimidating. They beat their chests, make terrifying vocalizations, and display aggression that triggers our deepest primal fears. Studies show that humans often freeze when confronted with extreme danger, and a rampaging gorilla certainly qualifies. Even with 100 humans, many would likely be paralyzed by fear or flee outright. Meanwhile, the gorilla has no concept of being outnumbered. It just sees threats to eliminate. Scoreboard. Update. Gorilla 4, Humans 3. Environmental factors could swing this either way. In an open field, the humans could spread out, forcing the gorilla to chase them until exhaustion. In a forest, the gorilla gains vertical mobility and ambush opportunities. In close quarters like a room or small arena, the gorilla's advantage multiplies as humans can't properly surround it or escape its reach. The human's best strategy would be fighting in shifts, wearing down the gorilla over time while minimizing casualties. But that requires discipline that frightened humans rarely display. If even 10% of humans panic and run, the coordinated strategy falls apart. For this category, let's call it a draw, since so much depends on specific conditions. Scoreboard update. Gorilla 4, Humans 3. What about natural weapons? The gorilla comes equipped with bone-crushing strength, massive canine teeth, and the ability to use all 4 limbs as weapons. Each hand can exert crushing force capable of shattering bones. Those 2-inch canines can tear through flesh with ease. And don't forget those legs. A kick from a gorilla could send humans flying like bowling pins. Humans, meanwhile, have fingernails? Maybe some decent punching power if they've trained? Without artificial weapons, humans are woefully under-equipped. Even with 100 attackers, landing effective blows would be difficult, given the gorilla's speed and strength. Scoreboard. Update. Gorilla 5, Humans 3. But wait, what if the humans get creative? Humans excel at weaponizing our environment. In virtually any setting, humans could fashion improvised weapons. Rocks, sticks, makeshift spears, even using belts or clothes as restraints. With 100 people, some could create distractions while others prepare these tools. While a stick is no match for gorilla strength one-on-one, 100 humans jabbing with pointed sticks presents a very different problem. The question becomes, can the gorilla eliminate enough humans quickly before they organize and arm themselves? If the humans have even 5 minutes to prepare, their chances improve dramatically. Scoreboard. Update. Gorilla 5, Humans 4. The battlefield formation could be decisive. If the humans form a proper phalanx-style defense with their improvised weapons pointed outward, they create a porcupine effect that would challenge even a gorilla's charging ability. Ancient humans used similar tactics against predators. The front line might suffer casualties, but the gorilla would sustain injuries attacking a wall of pointed implements. However, this requires discipline and coordination under extreme stress, something that's easier said than done when facing a creature that can literally tear you limb from limb. The gorilla, meanwhile, has instinctive battle tactics honed by evolution. Charge displays to intimidate, targeted attacks on perceived leaders, and vicious finishing moves once an opponent is down. Fatigue and injury effects play differently for both sides. A gorilla fighting at 50% capacity due to exhaustion or injury is still incredibly dangerous, perhaps equivalent to 5 to 10 humans. Injured humans, however, become non-factors quickly. The gorilla can sustain numerous minor injuries while remaining combat effective, but enough accumulated damage would eventually slow it down. Meanwhile, every human casualty represents a 1% reduction in fighting force. The math suggests the gorilla would need to incapacitate humans faster than they can cause cumulative damage. A race against time. The first few minutes would likely see devastating human casualties, but if enough survive this initial onslaught, the tide could turn. Scoreboard update: Gorilla 5, Humans 4. Now let's address some common misconceptions. First, many people severely underestimate gorilla strength. These aren't just strong animals, they represent some of the most powerful pound-for-pound mammals on Earth. A gorilla could literally rip a human's limbs off with minimal effort. No amount of adrenaline will make a human strong enough to go toe-to-toe with a gorilla. Second misconception, the idea that humans could easily overwhelm with numbers. In confined spaces, only so many humans can engage simultaneously, nullifying the numerical advantage. Imagine 100 kindergartners attacking an NFL linebacker. Having 100 doesn't help if only 6 to 8 can reach the target at once. Another common misconception involves human bravery. Many imagine themselves fighting valiantly against the beast, but psychology tells us otherwise. Studies of predator attacks show most humans freeze or flee rather than fight when confronted with overwhelming threats. A significant percentage of our 100 humans would likely be effectively removed from combat due to fear responses before ever landing a blow. The gorilla faces no such psychological limitation. It will fight at 100% capacity until physically unable to continue. Some argue humans could simply dogpile the gorilla using mass and weight to pin it down. This drastically underestimates gorilla strength. Even with multiple humans attempting to restrain each limb, the gorilla could likely throw them off through sheer explosive power. Remember, we're talking about an animal that can deadlift approximately 1,800 pounds. That's like having 9 average men hanging off each arm and still being able to move them. The physics simply don't support the dogpile strategy working before the gorilla has eliminated too many humans. The final misconception involves time. Many assume this battle would last long enough for complex strategies to unfold. In reality, a gorilla attack is incredibly fast and devastating. In the first 30 seconds, the gorilla could potentially eliminate 15 to 20 humans through a combination of charges, throws, and direct attacks. By the time the humans organize an effective response, their numbers might be significantly reduced. The human's best chance isn't clever tactics, but simple survival long enough for the gorilla to exhaust itself. If they can maintain distance and force the gorilla to chase them, they could capitalize on its relatively poor endurance, but this requires the discipline to not engage directly, a counterintuitive approach when being attacked. Given all these factors, who wins? The answer depends entirely on preparation time, environment, and human discipline. So what's our final verdict? With no preparation time in a neutral environment, the gorilla likely wins, eliminating enough humans quickly to make their numerical advantage irrelevant. But give those humans even 30 minutes to prepare, and suddenly, Team Human's chances improve dramatically. If you enjoyed this video, you'll love this next one.